Good afternoon. It's Wednesday the 31st of March. I'm back in the reading nook on what is a warm, sunny and bright afternoon with a cup of tea and yet more parcels to unbox. So I'm just going to get the knife, slit this open and find out what I've been sent. Okay. And I've got two interesting things. Story paths, the new Whimsey cards, and basically the Path of Horror, and then deck 2, the Path of Intrigue. Now, this is, let me just show you the back. This is a universal game aid from White Wolf, which promises a renaissance in games. These were created by Lion Rampant, forerunner to White Wolf. Let's have a look. The Path of Horror brings the fear and trepidation of horror into your role-playing. Let your players terrify themselves through the use of these cards. You'll be amazed at the panic it can breed. These cards will slowly turn fear into dread, dread into outright terror. Horror has never been this good. Your gateway to role-playing. Now the critically acclaimed Whimsey cards are back in a more innovative form than ever. The Story Path deck offers you a new way to role-play, no matter which game system you use, helping you to create more dynamic and detailed stories by harnessing your players' imaginations. By rewarding good role-playing with Story Path cards, you allow the players to use them to break into the action and add a new detail or twist to the story. Each new card becomes part of the Path of cards as well as the story. Think of these cards as special effects, which add all the dramatic and atmosphere building elements of movies, which have never been part of role-playing, at least until now. Try them just once and you'll never look back. This path contains 24 tarot-size, ornately illustrated cards, finely perforated, 4 theme cards, 16 tone cards, and 4 climax cards. Now, cards have not. I was trying to think. Cards have not been. Have been used in role-playing games on and off for a number of years. A lot of cases they will use cards as a means of essentially as handling the mechanics. So most obvious choice there would be Castle Wolfenstein from R. Telsorian Games, which used an ordinary playing deck to handle how good a player character is at any one action. And other games have done something similar, like Monkey from D101 Games. And then the card game aspect of the standard deck of playing cards has been used in other role-playing games, for example, for Contender from Prince of Darkness Games, which was its hard rock successor, Umlant. Contender is a fantastic fighting your way out of the gutter boxing story, and I have no interest in boxing as a sport, but as a storytelling, as a path of storytelling, Contender is very good. Another game that uses playing cards is Deadlands, which uses like the poker mechanics to assemble good hands and so benefit the player characters. Then you have games which use specialised cards. So obviously the first one I can think of offhand is Torg, which use cards to influence the mechanics and the story and so on. The Whimsy cards are generic, but do the same thing. So you have basically a full list of the cards in here. Well, basically you've got a full set of 24 cards. Explanation of the rules just inside here. It's designed by Mark Reinhagen, who is most notable as the lead designer and co-creator of The World of Darkness, Vampire the Masquerade, Werewolf the Forsaken, Mage the Awakening, and so on. And there's advice in here for how to use these cards. So the cards themselves are done on quite heavy paper, very light card. So on, that's the back, and then on the front you have different effects. So let's have a look. Hint of madness here. Theme card: the hideous wails of 1,000 sorrows rise from the pit, slowly growing into a crescendo of madness. This path explores the aspect of reality, or lack of it, which deals with the life on the edge. Or you have unknown lurker, described to the character the sensation that someone or something is lurking near them, just outside the periphery of their vision. Identify how the evidence of this fiendish prowler was obtained. Tracks, wounds, sounds, or maybe a confrontation. So there we go. There's the unknown lurker and the hints of madness there. So yeah, you have things like newfound escape, abduction, open assault, unforeseen calamity, unnerving premonitions, horrifying discovery, and these have a general sort of like a general fantasy theme. You know, obviously with a chest there. But could be adapted to the horror role-playing game of your choice. Hapless victim, and these are perforated, so you can separate them out and basically put them into a deck as you wish. And probably what you would do now is you will find some sleeves to protect them, because they're not. I wouldn't say they were very sturdy. They're sturdy enough, but you wouldn't want to shuffle them. They're not really designed. They're not. Okay, and essentially, you've got the continuing guide to the how they play, and then you've got a list of the further paths. So this is the path of horror. You've got the path of intrigue, danger, path of hope, path of deception, path of discovery, path of whimsy, path of suspense. I've no idea whether they came out, but the next one I have is the path of intrigue. This is deck 2, and again, it's another 24. Set of cards with the rules on the inside, back cover, front and back cover, and where the front of the deck was red for the path of horror, you've got blue for the path of intrigue. So yeah, these came out. Just trying to see if there's a. Let's have a look. This is 1990, so these are 30 years old. I've no idea. I mean, I picked these up on eBay. So 1990, 30 years old, and these are essentially mint. Well, near mint, because there's a little bit of creasing at the top there. But again, essentially, these would have been interesting devices early on used for. To modify and influence your storytelling through mechanical means, as basically as to affect the narration as such, rather than doing it, through storytelling, rather than necessarily through the mechanics of the direct dice rolls. So yeah, here we again, story paths, path of intrigue, and we're dealing with things, like uncovered weakness. Climax card: a situation may reverse itself as a weakness in the opponent's defences, in the opponent's defences is uncovered. Secrets are revealed, new information surfaces, or the missing scale on a dragon is spotted. Victory may soon be possible. And again, there is a heavy fantasy element. So, such as lasting impression. Somebody's helm being basically clunked hard with a blow from a heavy weapon. So yeah, I mean, the thing is, I'd come across these in the early 90s, not seen them in print. That's not since then, and saw these come up relatively inexpensively on eBay, and I thought I would grab them. And basically, I paid about £4 each for them. And I will do a nostalgic review, basically a retrospective of these at some point. Again, I'm sure people will be interested to hear about these. I mean, obviously, because essentially you have basically these are narrative devices to help you tell a story, and so would prefigure really the movement that would come later on in the 80s, in the noughties with the indie game movement. So that's the story paths. Got 2 texts there, and we'll look at these in due time. In the meantime, I want to thank you for watching another unboxing in the Nook. If you've enjoyed this, please click the like button, and if you have any feedback or comments, then I do take the time to read them. And if you want to be notified of basically me being back out here in the garden talking about things like this, then click the subscribe button. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching, and I will be back soon with another unboxing in the Nook. Bye for now.